to desire. We sip tea on a lush plantation in Sri Lanka and drink in one of the most exclusive collection of vintage supercars. We take a trip to the designer dentist who promises we won't feel a thing, just in case the world's most expensive bottle of tequila will be on hand to numb the pain. But first, since its humble beginnings as a fancy goods store in 1837, Tiffany & Co. has grown into the most famous jewellery designer and seller in the world. The name has become synonymous with glamour and quality. Bejeweled by Tiffany features 180 pieces from the official archives, as well as jewels on loan from private owners.
The first impact, I think, is I hope the flag brooch, this wonderful rippling flag in rubies, sapphires and diamonds, with 13 stars and stripes, the original Union flag, really celebrating the patriotism and the fact that this is a very American story. Charles Tiffany was a great patriot. We can see here his involvement. Here we have one of the presentation swords at the end of the Civil War, made by Tiffany's workshops. During the Civil War, the Union side had been supplied by Tiffany with military equipment from Tiffany's great network of contacts in Europe. And here, really summing up the essence of Charles Tiffany and his entrepreneurial spirit. Here, his cameo on a brooch of the late 19th century. And beneath that, the first mail-order catalogue in the world. In 1845, Tiffany produced this wonderful catalogue where if you were living out in the back of beyond, you could order luxuries and fancy goods from Tiffany & Co. Because, of course, they started not as jewellers, but selling fancy goods and jewellery.
Part of Tiffany's success is owed to Charles Tiffany's genius at marketing. He introduced mail-order sales, producing the first ever mail-order catalogue. However, the company didn't just stay ahead with shrewd publicity, but by keeping itself out on the cutting edge creatively.
Tiffany caused a sensation with this series of jewelled orchids. We have 7 of them here, but in fact in the original display there were 24 different species of orchids, many of which were recent discoveries. The yellow one here was only discovered in the tropics a few years before. Tiffany is here recreating it in gold and enamel and gemstones.
Far from being random creations on display, Phillips explains the importance of displaying the collection as a whole.
This Tiffany collection is a sumptuous array. It covers the diamond set and the wonderful diamond set jewellery going right back through the 19th century. Also the very colourful stones and the American gemstones, which Tiffany was particularly keen on using. It comes right up to almost to the present day. It's an amazing archive collection. The wonderful thing about it being part of the Tiffany & Co. archive collection is that you often have the original designs that you can compare with the pieces that have survived, and so it makes a very full archive to have things right through from the drawing board to the completed work.
Some other very sparkling accessories have been on display at luxury department store Harrods in London. Designed by Stuart Weitzman, the $1 million shoes are woven from platinum thread, in the same way that royal clothing was made out of gold thread centuries ago. The diamonds from Quiet Diamonds are set in pure platinum and total over 65 carats. There are 464 diamonds used in total, with 2 large diamonds in the centre of each shoe. 1 large round stone weighing 1.5 carats and a pear-shaped 5-carat stone. Proceeds are going to charity.
A lot of people come through this store in any given day who would have the sort of finances that actually they could purchase this shoe. It may be someone who likes jewellery, it may be someone who's a collector of unique items. We just don't know, but we've got 2 weeks to sell them, and hopefully in that time we may get somebody to part with $1 million.
Because of their value, the shoes were under round-the-clock guard during their whole stay.
There'll be a member of security guarding the shoes every day between 10 o'clock and 7 o'clock when they're on show. And then in the evening they'll be taken down to our vaults, locked away for the evening, and then brought up again and displayed again in the morning.
Stuart Weitzman began designing shoes for his father's business in the early 1960s and is internationally renowned for his exclusive designs. His trademark uses of unique materials such as cork, vinyl, lucite wallpaper and gold have helped him build his footwear company into an empire, with outlets in 45 countries from France to the West Indies and Japan. The shoes were made in size 38, but the customer who purchases the shoes will be able to have them altered to the perfect fit. And for those who can't afford quite such an extravagant price tag, there is a rather less expensive option. The $250 rhinestone version is also on sale. Louis Vuitton one week, Prada the next. Designer handbags may be appealing, but they don't come cheap, especially if you never like to be seen out with the same bag twice. German company Luxus Babe, which translates as luxury babe, is changing all that, allowing customers to rent designer handbags. The company is the brainchild of Micah Sanger, who set up the firm on discovering that US-based online handbag rental services wouldn't deliver to Germany. I myself am addicted to handbags, and last year I read in an American women's magazine that this was totally normal, being able to rent designer handbags. So I immediately went to the internet site, but they told me they wouldn't ship bags to Germany. I was completely devastated, so I came up with this idea. Sanger soon discovered there were plenty of other women who shared her obsession. Luxus Babe's minimum contract lasts 3 months and has 3 levels of monthly subscriptions, ranging from $37 to $100 US. Customers then get to choose their favorite bag from the selection available. The designer bags are ordered online and delivered to the customer's door. One woman client called me and told me her husband showed her an article about Luxus Babe, so it was kind of in his interest to give a subscription to his wife. Luxus Babe has introduced customer Sophia Schmidt to online shopping. She's never bought anything on the internet before. I just like designer handbags because they're made of real leather and because not everyone has them. According to Sanger, their online shop gives customers the chance to look like $1 million without having to spend it. Subscribers can swap their bags as often as they like. There's a demand for established designers, but also for up-and-coming designers. We offer the Babe and the Luxury Babe subscriptions, which are most often sold. With the Babe subscription, it's young designers Luxus Babe includes Gucci, Dior, Fendi, and so on. And as Sanger says, there's nothing like the real thing. Suites, an all-inclusive deal that comes with all the gourmet food and drink a guest could desire.
And we thought Sri Lanka had a great combination of beautiful country landscapes, flora and fauna, the beaches, the culture.